Hi everyone, welcome back with the Rebel Crow Psychic Show with your host Athena Silver.
Hey guys, I'm Anja River.
Tonight we are having a passionate video. We are doing an episode on the psychic tools for the 2020 apocalypse. We've been having one hell of a year. And we're going to break it down. We're going to go into the latter half of the year, the fall and the winter. We're going to look at some astrology. We're going to do a little bit of divination, some card pulls, some questions, and really get down to the bottom of this 2020 apocalypse. What do you got to say, Anja? How do you feel about that?
Okay, I wish I could tell you guys that the rest of 2020 is going to be smooth sailing, but it's not. It's the finale. It's going to be a lot, and I'm going to help break it down astrologically for you.
Definitely.
Did I do that? Should we get right into it?
I think so,
Okay.
For all of you who haven't heard, 2020 sucks, but we are making the best of it. So what's coming with the planets and the alignments and the stars?
We got a lot, okay? All right. So right now we're in Mars retrograde. If you're like me, I've been feeling it before we went into the retrograde. It's called a shadow period. So that there's a specific amount of time leading up to the actual event that where it looks like the planet starts reversing in the sky. It's not, but it looks like it is. That would be like the shadow period. So Mars retrograde, it's going to be in Aries. It's in Aries. It goes from September 9th through November 13th. And Mars is the planet. It's a warrior planet. So this is, have you guys been feeling a lot of aggression? I don't know.
I know I have.
Like you yourself inside feel a little bit like on edge and kind of like a warrior yourself, like you're ready to just like jump on people. This is a collective energy. So this is what's happening. I've noticed an uptick in social media fights, very stupid thing.
You know what it is? It's the I wish somebody would kind of energy, like I wish you would say that. I wish you would cut me off in the car lane. See what happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. At least that's how I feel.
So did I think this happens once every 2 years? If I did, sorry. But it's going to also slow things down for us. So projects and, anything that you wanted to start new.
2020 is not your year.
Actually, I take issue with that a little bit because I do think that there was a huge opportunity, but yeah, but it's been tough, and so the end of the year is going to be a significant slowdown in your ability to move forward. That is from the Mars retrograde. That's also from the Mercury retrograde that's about to happen. So Mercury retrograde is going to be October 13th through November 3rd. Again, the shadow period starts before and goes after those dates. So you really feel it. I'm going to say the Mars retrograde kind of felt like a Mercury retrograde. I was like, we're not in Mercury retrograde. Why does it feel like this? But
it did.
It's going to be extra energy, that extra, like, your communication is going to be broken down. Things might break down, your cell phone, your car, your laptop, things like that. Just check your work, because during Mercury retrogrades, things come up where if you made a mistake, that will likely come up during the retrograde. It's an opportunity to fix it. But if you can be cautious in advance, it will help you a lot. So that's our Mercury retrograde. Okay. That's right. By the way, it ends right around the time of the election, and we're still going to be retrograde in the election, during the election. November 30th, we have a lunar eclipse in Gemini. Okay, so this is going to be more of that. Gemini is about communication. It's about thoughts. So we're going to have some issues there. We're going to have the opportunity to let go of our old ways of thinking, because Gemini is kind of this quick-witted, energy where, you know, it's really changeable and it's really able to go into the new. So that's going to be a major opportunity. But the opportunity is going to come with, you know, the illumination of like, oh, you know, there's things that I'm doing that aren't quite right, you know, or don't serve me any longer. So the next thing is December 14th, we have a solar eclipse in Sagittarius. And this is kind of dramatic because I don't know about you. Solar eclipse is the last solar eclipse I really like went off my rocker for a couple of days.
Yeah, the energy is very weird during the solar eclipse.
Yeah, this one's going to be really big because, first of all, think about the timing. It's in between the election, and you mentioned this before. This was your thing, so sorry. Yeah. But it's in between the election and Inauguration Day. So what is Sagittarius about? It's about truth. It's the truth, the ultimate truth. So
I think there's going to be a lot of things illuminated, a lot of things being told that were not necessarily, you know, well known. I think there's going to be a lot of bugs crawling out from under the rug. It's going to be a time where a lot of things are going to get, you know, stripped bare for us and us as a collective. And I think it's going to lead us to make a lot of really big decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to be a little battered by that point, you know, like,
girl, I think we've been totally better this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, take some time. If you can take some time and just like rest and recharge before all this stuff happens. Because I feel like we did get a little bit of a reprieve from some of the more dramatic. I mean, what isn't dramatic in 2020? I guess not for everybody, but I feel like there was a little bit of a reprieve over the summer. I think so too. But I think that our spring was such a revolutionary time that, you know, people were out protesting, you know, for injustices and police brutality and, you know, and all sorts of different causes. And it was just such a high energy, very passionate time that I think over the summer, we all needed to take it down a notch to really heal and repair so that we can go back into the fall with more energy, because we're going to need to fight again, especially come election day. You know, we still have a lot more fight to go. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be all right. So before I say the last major thing, I really feel like I was born for this time. And I know that there's other people out there that feel the same thing. You know, like I'm smiling and I'm happy, and it's weird because there's so much to not be happy about in this year. And yet it's like so much has been illuminated, and I don't know. I feel like so many of us, you know, were made for this time, because you know that at the end of this, it's going to change. You know, it's not going to be like this forever. And it's beautiful, you know, like it's really beautiful. But
on that same note, I've noticed that a lot of the music coming out of the 60s is really hitting and applying for today. Bob Marley in particular. A lot of those songs that call you to action, that call you for social change and justice, and it's all coming back. It's like we're repeating a cycle here, and it's good because we're getting movement again.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm expecting big things next year.
Yeah. So let's finish the last one, because then we'll talk about the last major event, and this is major stuff, is December 21st. It's the the word slipping. What is it?
The winter solstice. That's my anniversary. Shout out to my husband.
You picked a really good day. I love that you picked December 21st. This is Jupiter conjunct Saturn. Okay, now this astrological event does happen every 20 years, so that's not the hugest deal. It's a big deal, but it's not the it's not the biggest deal, or I'm sorry, like almost 30 years. But what's really special about this, and wait, before I get into that, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Saturn is contraction. You know, Saturn is about limitations. And so these energies just on their own kind of oppose each other. And it's, you know, it really, it's difficult, you know, it's difficult to feel that push pull, you know. The really great thing about this is that we're going to have this in Aquarius, and previously for the last 200 years, this conjunction has been only in earth signs. Mm-hmm. So we're switching from 200 years of earth signs to 200 years of air signs, starting off in Aquarius. This to me, like when I realized this, I was just like, oh, is that what, you know, thinking about shadow periods, you know, like, okay, this was like 60 years ago, but that silly 60s song, like the dawning of the age of the Aquarius, you know, like,
oh, we're in it, girl. We are in it.
I really feel like this is going to be, you know, like, it's so incredibly powerful to me that we've only lived our lives in these earth sign conjunctions. And now, you know, for the next 200 years, it's going to be in air signs. I don't know.
I think there's going to be a lot of peace, love, and healing that needs to happen collectively. That's going to happen within ourselves, within, you know, our families, and within each other. I think that it's something that we need. We've been fighting this battle for so long that it's time that we all get to a place where we all want to be collectively with each other, you know, understanding, peace, and love, you know. I'm excited.
Aquarius is about, you know, it's a humanitarian sign, and it's also about, you know, advancements forward. So I think this is going to be really good news on the coronavirus front.
I feel like on a climate change front as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And social justice.
Yeah, it's hopeful, you know, like, it's hopeful. The downside of Aquarius is, you know, Aquarius out of balance is all hot air, I guess, you know, so that could be a possible, like, thing to look out for. But I'm really hopeful that, you know, as a collective, you know, huge event, that this is going to take us to a different place, you know, next year and beyond, you know.
I think we all need to watch out for the internet trolls living under the bridge. I'm sure they're going to have lots to say. You know, that's that hot air energy.
Yeah, right. So that's my astro weather forecast.
Well, thank you, weather girl. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Why don't we move into some divination? I was thinking maybe you can give me a couple of questions and I'll pull some cards. I have my trusty crystal ball with me. I have my scrying bowl. So why don't we look into some lessons from 2020 and what we need to know going forward?
Yes. Okay. So what do you think needs to change in 2020? What needs to go?
All right. So I'm seeing that a lot of the establishment and the way things have been done, traditional values, air quotes, the way people have been looking at the world, the way that they view it is it's antiquated at this point. There's going to be a lot of change and a shift forward. But this is going to require a lot of energy work, a lot of us spiritual people coming together and working our respective crafts. You know, all of our indigenous brothers and sisters using your medicine, all of our Wiccan brothers and sisters, and our pagan brothers and sisters, and our Christian brothers and sisters, you know, all of us need to come together, and we need to work our magic for the health of our fellow man and our planet.
Yeah.
There's going to be a very big global movement that's going to happen in the next couple of years.
I'm just curious, which cards did you pull?
I pulled the World, I pulled the Magician, and I pulled the Four of Swords.
Wow.
That's heavy duty work.
I love that. Wow.
It's not something that's going to work easily. It's something that we're going to really have to chip away at and persist, but it's going to be on a very large scale. And, you know, we've got to all pitch in and do our parts, you know.
Do you have any, and I'm sorry if you don't, but I'm putting you on the spot, but do you have any advice for just the collective? Like, what do you think that specifically, like, do we need to do more meditation? Like, what should we do to help usher through this change?
I think we need to stop turning our energy into me and turn it into we. What can we do together to make our communities better? What can we do together to benefit our children? You know, if that's recycling, let's recycle. If that's, you know, solar energy, hybrid cars, you know, being there for your neighbor, shoveling somebody's driveway, you know, helping an old lady cross the road, whatever it is. It's not just thinking about ourselves and our little mental cubicles. It's thinking about all of us, you know, because we are a family here and we need to start acting like it. Instead of looking at your neighbor and seeing the differences, we need to start looking and seeing the similarities.
Yeah, and I like that you point out that it can be different things for different people. It doesn't have to be the same thing for everybody. Yeah, that's really good. I like that a lot.
Well, you know, not all of us have the ability to go out there and protest for hours on end and withstand the brutal beatings that happen there. You know, some of us have to use our voices in a different way. Doesn't make it any less valid. You know, it could be standing up to a Karen or a Kevin when they need it, you know, standing up for somebody else.
Yeah, we all have different jobs. We
have different abilities.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, what else, girl? What you got?
I like that. Okay. What will stay the same in 2021?
All right, let me see.
And tell me the cards too. I'm very interested.
All right, let me take a look. Okay, so I'm seeing the Five of Swords. We need to be careful because not everybody has the same end game that we do. Just because you have a good heart doesn't mean everybody else does. And we need to be careful because some people have the ability to weave webs that are very deceptive that we can fall prey to. I'm seeing this more on a grander scale. I can also see that we are all very tired of the way that we're treating each other and the way that emotions have been used against us and politicized.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, you know, but the good thing though is that we are going to gain some prosperity out of all of this. We're going to learn these lessons, and it's just that we need to be very careful of the deception that's going on.
That will continue in 2021, which is not surprising because we're humans, you know.
But the thing is you need to be extra sure where you're getting your information from. If this information's been vetted, if it's believable, if it's plausible, if it sounds that crazy, you know, that you've got to really like intuit what you're reading. Read between the lines because not everybody's out to tell you the truth on both sides. So it's not it's not a left versus right thing. It's on all fronts.
Right. So weaving in like what I'm really feeling from what you're saying from the last question to this question is, tell me if I'm right, is creating boundaries and maintaining boundaries is a really good thing, because you can still have that energy of we, you know, but you know where your limits are, you know, you're still expanding yourself, but yeah. So, okay. Yeah, that's great.
Well, it's expanding yet protecting yourself. So it kind of goes with that, you know, Saturn conjunction energy, you know.
You're right. Oh my God. The
you
expansion
know,
of Jupiter and the contraction of Saturn. Like, we're just moving our comfort, like our happiness level and our everything.
We want to grow, but we want to protect ours in the meantime. You know, we want to change, but we want to make sure that core values don't, or they're protected.
And I'm just seeing also, like, work on being really aware of your surroundings.
Definitely.
And, you know, like, so we've been so battered this year that, like, we have the urge, you know, like, oh my God, how many times have I wanted to just like zone out to a Netflix binge? And I'm just getting like, this is not the time for that. Like, we really have to be aware of our bodies, our surroundings, our, you know, what's going on, but not judge, just be aware.
I feel like watching the news is just straight up abusive to my persons, you know. I'm like, I can't physically or spiritually watch the news right now because it enrages me and it makes me just, you know.
Yeah, so, I share that.
I take breaks because I get overwhelmed with it, you know, because I'm a person of action. I see a problem, I want to get right in there and do something about it. And a lot of these problems, it's not that easy. And a lot of times we're not really getting the full, complete story. You know, or a lot of piecing little things together to try to paint a bigger picture. So,
yeah, definitely.
Be careful, be aware.
Right. All right. So, what will the rest of 2020 look like?
Oh God, let me take a look.
All right. I'm going to close my eyes and focus with you.
It's a little bit bittersweet. So the first thing I'm seeing is the 5 of Pentacles, which has to do with poverty, financial distress, people losing jobs, having issues with gaining income.
Yeah.
But a good thing, though, is that the 6 of Cups is next to it, which means you're going to have time for family. You're going to have time for self-reflection. You're going to have time for nostalgia. You're going to go back and try to use things from your childhood, things from your past, things that make and bring you joy, you know, just to alleviate some of this tension. And I know a lot of us parents are going to be doing school from home, so it's going to require us to really have a real hand on our children and their education. So it's going to take us back to our early days when we were trying to learn fractions and not understanding that shit. It's going to be a present day struggle.
This time.
Yeah, but there's a silver lining in that, because this is the first and only time for a lot of parents that you're the educator here, that you're the one gifting that knowledge that you've collected and that you've learned over the years, that you're gifting it down to your children. So you can either tell them the fabricated history that you learned, or you could tell them the truth with a little fabrication in there too. Or you could just keep it real like I do in my house. Oh, they got the full Christopher Columbus story, my kids. They were like, Mommy, I don't know about that. But you know what? They got educated, you know?
And so they had a totally different idea in their head, because what school taught.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It really happened. And they were like traumatized.
Yeah, they were like, that really happened? And I'm like, oh, yeah, baby, that happened to our people. And so now they're like, screw Columbus. I'm like, yeah. Not everybody feels the same way that I do, but you know what? I've been slighted personally with my own family, so you know how I feel. Anyway, so the next card that comes up is the Ace of Wands. That's beginnings. That's like creative ideas that are coming to you. the need for change, the want for change. You know, it's very much, you know, the spark that you need to start something new.
Yeah.
So just because we have these issues and we're at home and we might be, you know, really trying to hustle for that paycheck or trying to bridge the gap. Some of us are unemployed. It's okay. You've got to really look for the silver lining, because it's going to lead you to create bigger and better things coming in the future. So you've got to take that lemon and make that lemonade.
I love it. It all aligns up, you know, like it's, yeah.
Well, I think it was good that you started with the astral weather forecast, because it really, these cards tie directly into that timeline with the planets and the changes. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff coming. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of entrepreneurs that come from this. Mm-hmm. A lot of people saying, you know what? I hate retail. I'm going to start my own job. I'm going to make my own company. I'm going to build something. I'm going to be something, you know.
This is really the silver lining, you know, like.
Yeah. I think people are going to get industrious. They're going to start looking around with what they have and what they can do and how they can profit from it and make money. I think there's going to be a lot of upstarts and a lot of industry, you know, small businesses, hood businesses that come out of, you know, this time. There's going to be I feel like there's going to be a renaissance in a way for a lot of these new up and coming industries and businesses, because becoming straight from people leaving corporate jobs.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good thing. I think there's going to be some artists and artisans that come out of this.
Okay. Yeah. Right. That makes sense. And it's really fascinating too, because like every time we have a major financial event, like the next, you know, just a little while later, like the most wealth gets created, you know, so there's opportunity.
Look at what happened after the housing crash in the early 2000s. Look at all of the crazy amount of entrepreneurship that came out of that. You know, people starting their own fashion lines, people starting their own tech, people starting, you know, like the tech industry exploded, the video game industry exploded, all these different industries. And a lot of them came out of an entrepreneur spin. You know, everybody started their own, which is what I think is going to happen. I just think it's going to happen on a larger scale this time.
And at least we'll have like technology, you know, just keeps moving at such a rapid, you know, like rapid is even too slow of a word.
I know.
You know, it's going so fast that there will be opportunities. It's just going to be, you know, like get in the mindset of like, I have to grow, I have to change, I have to be mobile, you know, like I have to be able to do that. It's hard for us fixed sign people, me. Getting better at it. You can work at it, you know, like it doesn't have to handicap you, you know, like you can definitely work on these things.
Yeah, so. But I think for those signs that are in the transient, that are always moving, you guys are going to flourish.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the mutable signs.
Oh, yeah.
I really feel like you Geminis, like I'm so envious of how quick you can respond to things, you know?
Yeah.
So this is going to be like your time, I think.
Yeah,
so,
well, you know, surprise us, wow us. We want to see what you're working up.
All right, so I have one more question for you, and then I'd like to do my Starman Tarot.
Sure.
All right, so what is the lesson we should learn from 2020?
Let me see. Wow. All right, you're going to love this. First card is the Chariot. We need movement. We need to keep going forward. Yeah, today is hard. Yeah, yesterday was hard. Tomorrow's probably going to be hard too. But eventually, the more we work forward, the easier it will become.
No, we'll get better at it.
Of course, you're going to get better at dealing with it. You're going to get better at adapting to it. It's going to teach you very strong, invaluable lessons that you would not have learned if you didn't struggle, if you didn't have to hit the pavement hard. You know, this is a time to build your character. We've been building it in lockdown, you know, through this pandemic. It's been showing us who we are and what we're made of. Now, we've got to use what we learned and bring it forward. What do we need to now learn to go into our future? What do we have to keep doing to get there? It's that push. It's that drive. Now, the next card is the High Priestess. We're going for bigger intuition. We're going for deeper reflection. We're going for real change on all levels and enlightenment above all, you know. The last one is my favorite here. It's the 10 of Cups. We're finding community and family and unity. We're all this struggle is going to pay off. We're all going to be in a better spot. Yeah, it's been hard. Yeah, we've had to sacrifice. Yeah, we've all struggled in one way or another, some more so than others.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you are. And it's okay, because there is light at the end of the tunnel, that this is all going to bring us together, and it's going to bring us into a more enlightened state, a more community-minded state, and a state where we're looking out for each other and we're looking out for our collective as opposed to just ourselves, because we've been doing that for far too long, and look at where it's gotten us.
Yeah, right. That's beautiful. Like, just beautiful reading.
Thank you, love.
You.
Well, I really feel like it's a time for us to come together again. Stop harping on where that person came from, what they look like, how you're different from them, how you don't speak the same language or eat the same food or wear the same clothes. It's not about that. It's about the fact that we're all breathing the same air, walking the same earth, and loving. Now we got to turn that love from the inside to the outside and spread it. Make that infectious. You know?
I was just going to say something about the way that statement was phrased, but it was so great. I wanted, like, as you were saying that, I'm like, can I add one thing that we should stop doing, please?
Definitely. What can we stop doing?
Okay. Republicans need to stop with the Democrats. Democrats stop with the Republicans. Like, just stop bashing each other.
Well, that's what this is all about.
We gotta find some common ground. Like, just stop. You know?
Well, I think we've been in a place where we have experienced a whole different side of politics that it's never been like this before. Not in any recent time or memory of anybody alive right now.
Yeah.
We have somebody who's breaking every single norm, breaking things that we didn't even know could be broken, doing things that we didn't even know was illegal, and getting away with it. And I think just all of us need to say, what do we want, as a country? What do we want as a people? What do we want even as an individual? And who can we find that's going to at least respect that, instead of turning the military loose or making it a police state or cozying up to people with, communist, weapons. And, I'm not hating on anybody. I'm really not. I just think that it's a time for us to start loving and to stop hating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. Like, this isn't even about a specific person or whatever. It's just everything that you said, like, if we can find some common ground and just understand, like, we're not all right. We're not all, we're not all wrong. Like there's no group that's all right. There's no group that's all wrong. Like, we really need to just, like, elevate above this. And
I think we need a little bit of open-mindedness and a little understanding. I think if you talk to somebody else across the aisle and just talk about life, you realize that you have a lot more in common than you think. Yeah, you might not say, serve the same God, or you may not, vote the same way. It doesn't matter, because at the end of it, we all have families. We all want to be loved. We all want to be respected and appreciated. And I think that once you boil it down to the essentials, you realize that we can all have this. It's not a have it or not situation. It's you can have all of it and be respectful.
Yeah. It's so uplifting, like, I'm so happy.
I know the apocalypse episode turned out to be kind of bright and cheery, a little kumbaya, if you will.
It's very kumbaya. That's the age of the Aquarius coming. We feel it. It's coming. So yes. Oh, and back to, all right. So I had, because we were talking about Aquarius so much and this like conjunction at the end and all that. So I had to pull out my Starman Tarot collection, and it's Bowie inspired. And if you are watching visually, you'll get to see it. It's a treat. It's super futuristic.
Who makes that deck?
It's Lo Scarabeo.
Okay, cool. He's got great work.
I don't know, by David DeAngelis, and it's inspired by the artworks he created for Bowie. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So, all right. I pulled these before, but I was honest. Athena saw me. The Star.
Oh, that's a beautiful card.
Okay, so this is for 2021. The Star comes after the Tower. The Tower brings everything to the ground, and the Star is this beautiful, hopeful, connected moment. If you can see it visually, this being is being electrified by the celestial body, and the feet in the water is talking about, you know, the beautiful illumination, you know, the being able to connect with the earth and help me out. I'm losing my, I'm getting the
I think, you know, it also has a lot to do about hope and spirituality and faith and the importance of the universal divine connection. You know, the star is really at the peak of all chakra alignment.
Yes. Yes.
It's full in its awakening, you know, it's hope, but at its purest form, you know.
Oh, did I mention that the star is also the sign for Aquarius? So it's like, it's perfect.
It is perfect. I also, we were talking about this before, but I think, you know, when talking about the Tower and talking about the star and its progression, it's really like those indigo kids, ourselves included, you know, we were brought here to tear down the establishment, to clear out those old ways that aren't working, to really lay the groundwork. And I feel like those crystal and rainbow children that are being born to us now in, you know, in this younger generation, a lot of them are in, you know, grade school and stuff like that. Those are the kids that are going to change everything. They're going to be reconstructing and building. So, you know, it's really on us as parents, as conscious parents, to instill these laws and rules and the rule of love to these kids, because they're the ones that are going to be in the legislative branch at one point, and president and in Congress and in the Senate, to cause real change. So if we stop teaching hate and we teach love, it's going to radiate out to even to the government, even to the way we are running our societies, you know, and raising our children. It's going to be infectious by the time those crystal and rainbow children are adults.
And you allude to this challenge that we have to face and overcome really well, because we, like you said, are the generation that wants to tear everything down. We don't actually, we're really good at that, but we don't really have yet the capacity to, you know, we don't actually have it, like you said. So we have to really work, you know, like maybe switch gears at this point, you know, like not everybody. I'm just saying that, you know, as a collective, you know, we really have to start thinking about, okay, like, you know, as you were mentioning, you know, like we have to have children. So how do we go from this mentality of breaking everything down to this mentality of like, okay, we got to switch and think about what do we want, you know?
It's living by example. It is walking the walk and talking the talk. If you want your children to grow up and appreciate other people, you have got to appreciate other people in front of them. You need to show them and be the role model. You know, if you want to see change, you have to be that change. You know, we are the reason why us indigos don't really have to worry about what happens after is because that world is not ours. Most of us are 30s, 40s, 50s. Our world has always been the way it has been. Yes, we're tearing it down, but by the time we are done with the destruction, it's not really going to be our world.
No.
It's going to be, the world is going to belong to the young.
Yeah.
And they've got to build a society they want their kids to live in. So it's circle of life.
It sure is. That's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so much out of this episode. I hope everybody else is too.
It's a good one.
Yeah, from the Starman. So this is the last one for 2021, and I'm really excited about this one too because it's the 10 of Pentacles. So this is some money alchemy, like we're going to turn the lead into gold.
It's some big money energy.
Yep. Yep, totally lines up with your reading from before.
That entrepreneurship, yeah, we're going to get paid for our labors, you know. We're going to put in 110%. We're going to grind. We're going to get everything done, and the abundance will follow, You got to look at life as cycles, just a series of cycles. Every day you wake up, every day you fall asleep, wash, rinse, repeat. Same thing with the energies, they're cyclical. So if you are working hard, abundance will come if you allow it. But once the abundance gets there, you still have to continue to work hard in order to receive more abundance.
Right.
So not a time to get lazy, people.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow at Rebel Crow Psychic Show. We put up a podcast every week. You can find us on YouTube and also on all major podcasting apps. We're on, our website is rebelcrowpsychicshow.com. If you want to book a tarot reading or mediumship reading with me, I'm Athena Silver. You can find my website at Readings with Athena Silver. My Instagram is at athena.silver. My Facebook is Readings with Athena Silver, and my TikTok is Athena_Silver. How can they get a hold of you, Anja?
I just have two. I have, if you'd like to book a reading with me, a tarot reading, I'm on Instagram at Anja River, ANJARIVER, same for Facebook.
Well, we hope you guys enjoy this, and make sure you check it out. Make sure you drop a comment and share our video around with all your friends. We'll catch you guys back next week, same time. Bye.
Bye.